A person's wealth is determined by their assets, investments, and things that they own. I say true wealth is about how you live it. Your girl is back. Welcome to season 2 of Wealth Within Reach. It's important that you need to do a complete financial analysis of your property. In order to do a complete financial analysis of your property, it's important that you separate your personal and your rental property expenses. Every single month that you should be looking at your financial statements, doing a financial analysis. One financial statement that's really good for you to review every single month is called your profit and loss statement. It shows you all of your income, every single expense, so that you're able to start tracking trends to see what's going on and if you need to make any adjustments. I want you to focus on enhancing your operations. We're in this to gain freedom, to gain more time freedom, to gain our time back. There are so many ways that you can streamline and automate your expenses. I don't think investors recognize enough like the value of their time, because if you are working a W-2 income job and then you come home and you're also like spending like hours a week consistently in your rental business, it's not going to be fun and you're not going to want to do it and you're going to have to do it and you're going to be burnt out. All right. And there's so many ways that you can streamline this and automate this through technology to be able to help save you time.
Once you know something or you've learned something, you have a responsibility to act on that. Know your whys, increase your whys. I think like having multiple whys helps.
Yes.
Be aware of what you're thinking and feeling and all those limitations. You got to be aware of it, because if you don't know, you don't know.
Yeah.
So you said it, labels. Labels are very important. You know, people say, oh, don't label it. No, label it.
Yeah.
You have to label it because we have to know. It reminds me of someone saying, oh, God knows. Or God will fix it. He knows my heart. And I'm like, he knows, but do you know? So he wants you to know and you to confess, you know, those things for change and stuff. You don't develop and grow until you're able to acknowledge what's going on. Like, what's the problem? What's the real problem?
Yes.
Same with therapy, same with coaching. Like,
That's
what are we
good.
working on? What is there to work on? So the labels are very helpful.
Yeah.
And so labeling, what is it? Okay, it's fear. Why is fear there?
Yeah. Yeah.
Fear is there because of,
Yes.
I'm afraid I'm going to lose this money.
Yes, because I didn't grow up with a lot, and I really want to make sure I don't lose it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Fear is there because I don't know if I'm making the right decision. Now the whys come up, okay? Well, I labeled it as fear. Does fear belong here? No, I'm a believer, so I'm going to tell you a scripture that helps me. 1 Timothy 1:7. For God have not given you the spirit of fear, but power, love, and sound judgment.
That's good.
Okay?
That's
and
good.
so fear is not something, it's something that we can acknowledge, but it's not a gift. You know, it's not something that we hold.
Yeah.
You acknowledge it so you can know where it is and you let it go.
Yes.
What do I do with this?
It helps you to recognize that you're human and that you have emotions, but it should not drive you.
Absolutely.
It should not be in a driver's seat.
Absolutely.
And for so many of us, it's in the driver's seat and it's
Absolutely.
fully driving us
Oh,
around.
girl.
Like fully.
Yes.
It's becoming like a stronghold for some people.
Yes.
Every year I review my property portfolio and determine, is there a property that I want to sell? Is there a property I want to keep? Last year, I had a property that I was considering selling. The property taxes increased quite a bit. We had been trying to lease the property out and we weren't able to get the property taxes reduced. With the existing property taxes and having a hard time finding a tenant, and even when we found the tenant, the cash flow was still very low, even though the equity was very high. We decided to sell that property, cash out, and invest in another asset.
And I remember trying to get, always trying to get a discount. Always trying to get something for nothing, if you will. And I remember the dry cleaner owner telling me, she didn't give me the discount. Yeah. And she says, hey, we put a lot of effort and a lot of work into your clothes. Yeah. You get what you pay for. And so that kind of said, wow, always trying to worry about what the cost of something is versus what the value is in something. That's good. And when she mentioned how well they do as far as taking care of the clothing, how they clean it and all this, I understood. I started to differentiate between investing and cost,
Right.
you know, or the price of something.
Right.
So as far as investing in fast forward into the real estate thing, you talk about someone who has spent thousands and thousands
Right.
of dollars in my own personal
Yes.
growth and development. You can't put a price on value,
Yeah. No,
you
you can't.
know. And unfortunately, I think a lot of that stems from a scarcity mindset. You know, when opportunity presents itself, the first thing we want to know, I mean, even when I'm
How much it
coaching
costs?
people financially, how much it costs. And it's funny because you don't ask that when you're out there blowing money or spending whatever someone else is
Let me
asking
tell you,
for.
we both got kids, right?
Yes, absolutely.
When those kids need something,
Yes,
we gonna come through.
absolutely.
We're gonna do whatever we need to do
Absolutely.
to get whatever those kids need.
Absolutely.
How come we don't invest in ourselves
Exactly.
like that?
And I think it's one of those things going back to education. It's just something that we have not been taught. You know, we have this
Yeah.
mentality, what can I get for, and it's sad. I think once people start to educate themselves and get around other, again, like-minded individuals who have made investments within themselves
Yeah.
and who have gotten the value
Yeah.
out of whatever it is that they pay. Again, there's no dollar figure on value.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
so now I tell people, even when they say, well, how much does it cost? And I say, well, how much are you willing to invest?
That's good.
Yeah. What are you willing to invest in yourself?
A part of moving from a DIY, do-it-yourself investor to truly being able to scale a business, first and foremost, you have to go from having an employee mindset to having a CEO mindset. An employee mindset is so cost and price focused, and they're just focused on tell me what to do and I do it, right? But a CEO is setting the vision. The CEO has a vision and they know where they're going, okay? And they focus on how do I find the who, not the what of how to accomplish what I need to accomplish. Shifting from a DIY mindset to a CEO mindset is really the foundation of what it will take to scale your business. And why are we interested in scaling our business? Because guess what? You're not going to find financial freedom or build like true wealth or be rich with 1 or 2, maybe even 3 real estate properties. It's going to take a few different long-term strategic moves for you to really move the needle in your business. If you're mentally exhausted, and it's going to be really hard to work on your side hustle, it's going to be really hard to invest in your education. That's why it's important to actually be able to document whether things are draining you or giving you energy. If you recognize that you have certain tasks that give you energy, then what happens when you do something that gives you energy? You have more energy to do other things, right? This is why taking a time inventory is so important, so you can actually do an assessment to figure out what is giving you energy and what is draining you. This will then determine the things that are draining you. Even if it's 1 or 2 things that you can actually delegate, these are things that is really good to get off of your plate so that you can add more things that are giving you energy so you can actually be more productive. Trying to force yourself to do things that are draining that can be delegated is not smart, okay?
Every day I learn something different and I continue to learn. It's just the sky's the limit.
The more you invest in yourself, the more you're able to continue to grow and be able to take advantage of the return on investment that you get.
If you're ready to do it, go ahead and do it and stop saying it's not the right time.
Take action today. Time is not promised. Don't let this be next year, next 5 years, start today.